Man, I'm actually starting to feel pretty nervous. I hope I can compete with the students from other universities.
So now, on to our second clinical question. A 67-year-old male presents to your clinic with a history of hemorrhagic stroke 1 year ago. They've been non-compliant with their rehab. They've been smoking since their early 20s and they're currently still a smoker, 2 packets a day. How would you approach this patient's assessment and treatment?
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good question. I guess I'd start by looking at their mobility and their strength, because that's what I do with every new patient. Oh, and he smokes as well. Yeah, I'd have to tell him that you should probably just stop smoking. That's definitely not going to help him. He's not doing good with his rehab. It's probably because his exercises are just boring, so I'll just change them to exercises I think are really interesting, give them to him for a couple of weeks, and then if he comes back and he's still not doing them, I don't think I can do much with this patient. Yeah, that's it.
Did you have any questions for us before we wrap up today?
No, not really.
Okay. How would you approach this patient's assessment and treatment?
I'll start by introducing my role as a physiotherapist, and then check in on the patient's understanding of his current condition. Without wasting any time, I'll proceed to tell him what is happening at a biological level. Example of something I might say could be a clog has formed, was ruptured in the blood vessels of the brain, occluding oxygen to the brain and causing irreversible tissue necrosis. I'll then tell the patient this is very much caused by his long history of smoking and that he should stop smoking now and if he wants to live and not have another stroke. People who smoke have an increased risk of pulmonary and cardiac diseases. This and all was really increased his chance of decline as he gets older. The patient really should know that exercise is part of his stroke rehab, and I would therefore recommend him to engage in standard guidelines of physical activity. My goal for him is to at least walk 30 minutes around the block, to go to the gym, do exercises 2 to 3 times a week. I could give him some additional educational materials, but ultimately it is really just up to him.
Yeah, so thank you for coming in today. We'll be in touch. Your contact details are the same as the one on the file?
Yeah.
Cool. How would you approach this patient's assessment and treatment?
The crux of an initial with a patient like this would to begin building a relationship founded on trust and aligned goals. In a thorough subjective assessment after attaining all relevant patient information, it would come down to really understanding 1, what he knows about his stroke, 2, why he's put his rehabilitation on pause, taking into account all sort of factors that surround him as a person, and 3, how he thinks his lifestyle choices may affect his health in the future. This would open opportunities to address any misconceptions through meaningful, non-judgmental discussion that will begin a process of behavioural change. I don't want to be too directive, else I risk losing the partnership. I'd explain how physiotherapy can help him achieve his goals as backed by the evidence of brain recovery by neuroplasticity and my own previous experiences.
Well, thank you for coming in today and thanks for all your insightful responses that you gave to our questions. We just had a couple of questions about your referee details. Are they up to date on the application you gave in?
Yes, they are.
Excellent. We'll be in contact with them shortly and we'll let you know.
Great.
How'd you go, man? I think I killed it.
I did pretty well. Started talking about, stroke on more of a biological perspective.
Okay.
What about you? How did you go?
I was pretty happy with how I went. Spoke about some, patient goals, patient needs, behavioural change. All the nitty-gritty stuff.
Dude, I didn't even cover that in my course.
Really?
Yeah.
It was drilled into us from day one.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, we covered a little bit, but definitely not as in depth as what you described.
Look, guys, it's over now. Good luck to us all.
Right, take care, guys.
See ya.